Hey guys, a video for our Buying a House in Japan playlist and our mini-series on the shenanigans going on next door to the old Japanese farmhouse. So the work is pretty much finished. We haven't seen a workman doing anything at these new houses for a few weeks, so it seems that the work is finished. However, a lot of their rubbish is still there, as we'll show you again in a minute. But this one's interesting. This is number 2 house, and the lights have been burning in there for weeks, 24 hours a day. The lights are on, and one of the vent fans too, apparently. We can hear that going too. So it sort of seems that nobody's taking responsibility for these houses. Those of you who followed this series, it just doesn't seem like anybody is responsible. Everybody sort of does their own bit and that's it. So we haven't seen any workmen for a while, but we do see real estate people turn up, park their car in the middle of the street, blocking the street. So usually they'll block the street until someone comes along and hits their horn, and then they'll get in and sort of move it. For some strange reason, they don't want to park in front of the vacant house that they're selling. So they could just pull into the car space in front of the vacant house that they're actually trying to sell, but they don't seem to like to do that. They prefer to park in the middle of the street and then go and have a look at the house and take some photos and faff around and then get back in their car and drive away. So it's a bit of a mystery. But yeah, never-ending stream of salespeople. It is, these houses are cheaper. They're at the cheaper end of the spectrum. You know, $220,000 for a new house is at the lower end of the spectrum. So there's probably that. It's probably easy to sell these because they're so cheap. Those of you who watched them being built would recognise, though, that they're not good value. They should be cheap. They're bloody awful. Anyway, this is the other part of this. Look at the rubbish. They've just left it. It's like nobody's responsible. Everybody's just done their own thing, and then off they go. That rubbish has been there for a couple of months. And, of course, we've had typhoons, so it blows around and blows up the street. Look down the side of the house here. So it's just random bits of stuff just left lying around. The salesmen are coming and going and doing their sales thing, but nobody, the builder or the owner or nobody has taken responsibility. That's a huge bag of rubbish there. And the one here on the corner is a real mystery. When they did the bitumening, they didn't bitumen this little triangle around this post here. And then they put a bag of rubbish on it. So that's not finished, obviously. That needs to be bitumen, doesn't it? But they didn't do that, and they've just left the bags of rubbish, and nobody has bothered to say to somebody, go and clean up that rubbish. They've all just left it there. Just a random bunch of stuff down the side of the house here. This is a letterbox on the ground. That's for number 2. This is number 4. Number 2 doesn't have a letterbox yet. It's just been left on the ground there. And this poor old guy, we've had these typhoons, and every time it rains, the dirt from behind these houses gets washed down. Now, some of you remember back in January, we told these guys when they demolished the drain that was here, there'd been a drain there for hundreds of years probably, and we told them, look, all the water from the back of our place and the back of the neighbour's place and the back of these places all comes down there. There was a concrete drain and a pipe that went off into the storm water, and they demolished it. And we told them it's going to be a problem because that's where the water goes. And that's it. They're finished. They've just left it like that. And every time it rains, the water pours down through here. That little block doesn't stop anything, and it all just washes down into the old guy's place. Nobody cares. That's been the feeling from this right from the start, hasn't it, that nobody cares? So just before we go, a little prediction. Right where that drain is, they've extended that little brick wall out to the road, right to the boundary, right? Now, you can see how it sticks out, and that's a real narrow piece of road there. We're predicting that at some stage in the future, someone's going to hit it because it's really close to the ground. If you're close to it, you wouldn't see it. So someone's going to hit that. We'll get back to you in the future when that happens. Anyway, there was that. More videos coming soon.